I started the reading and then I lost it. So I'm going to start over. It's fine. I did already read the passages from the book, so I might kind of include a little bit of what I read there. There's an interesting theme with these two cards coming up because there's an ability to realize a repetitive cycle that's been happening. And it's kind of this like wounding. You've been comfortable with this wounding, and so you've been continuing to live this way. But because you're seeing the pattern now, you have more potential to heal it and start something new. And this birth is this new beginning. Once you realize the pattern, you can let go of old behavior that does not serve you and let go of the fear of the unknown, allowing a higher knowing to guide you into a new beginning. And this is through awareness. So the main theme here is about moving. It's about going towards somewhere new. And this doesn't have to be physical movement. It could just be moving towards your evolution. With the womb of potential, this was why I lost the other reading, because I hit escape on the computer. Let's see, what's card 10 in the tarot? I think it's Temperance. No, it's the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So it feels like there's a lot of big changes happening for you that are kind of happening out of your own awareness, out of your own will. But it's all guiding you somewhere. And the quote that I got from Khalil Gibran's The Prophet was all about religion and God and how people practice their religion or how people practice their faith and their beliefs. And I was saying that this is the Hierophant, and it's usually having to do with religion. It's also called the priest. And I was saying that I like this card better because it focuses on nature. And it's similar to the quote from Khalil Gibran, because he's saying that like people who are too moralist and too concerned with how things are supposed to be done by the book, like don't allow their true bird song to sing. So it's like she's actually, this person, this human is actually connecting through nature, and through nature becomes like more godlike or more divine, and that's because she's connecting with her own truth. So it's not through a specific religion or through a book or through anything like that. It's also about grounding yourself through safety, finding safety and knowing your rights and standing up for your rights. And I wanted to talk about this theme that's coming up is around war. So maybe like there may be some people I'm connecting with who are currently in a state of war, like in a country where there's war. Or this could be you having like a specific conflict in your life that feels like a big war, but it's on a personal scale. Or not. I don't know how this affects you, but I'll just kind of go through the cards. So there's some kind of really big ending here that's devastating. Like it almost feels like an apocalypse. It feels like this is an ending of everything that you've known, of everything that made you feel safe, and that's probably why this safety card is coming up so strongly. And I also can see actually the root chakra is having to do with war, because it's standing up for yourself, and maybe standing up for yourself ends up, causing a lot of destruction around you. But maybe it's kind of necessary in order to move things forward, in order for your own evolution to happen. And I don't encourage destruction, but I'm not necessarily talking about destruction. I'm talking about the effects of our actions that are out of our own control. Like a domino effect, when we just kind of do something small and then it creates this whole thing, because there is something going on here. There's desolation, this really difficult ending with the 10 of Swords. There's fighting, war, conflict. People's motivations are against our own, and maybe their motivations are against our life. And so we have to stand up for ourselves. We have to stand up for our rights. It's all about greed and corruption and like hypersexuality, like people who are just kind of lost and confused and in disillusion. and not actually acting from their higher selves, like they're acting from their lower selves, from the sphere of security, which was the other quote I got was from Silent Power, and it was talking about the etheric. It might be hard for me to remember the exact quote, but it was basically talking how a lot of people aren't able to connect with their etheric because they're actually more concerned with security and with survival. So they're not connecting with their true power. Interesting that with all of this destruction and with all of this chaos, there's some really positive guidance coming through, and I just want to go to that to kind of mitigate some of this intensity here. So I'm ready to receive love. So part of this is balancing it out. If you are in a situation where you have to defend yourself, if you are in a situation where there's a lot of destruction around you, and I hope you're not like in an actual war zone, but if you are, I hope you're staying safe, and yeah, I'm just kind of praying for you guys and hoping that you're all safe. And we're in a really tough time in the world, but yeah, like just kind of focusing on love as well is really important because you want to keep your spirits high. You don't want to fall into like a hopelessness. I choose to reinterpret my fears with a more loving perspective. So there's a lot of focus on love and on seeing the higher perspective of things and not delving into this territory, because you have to remember it's like that Nietzsche quote of if you stare long enough into the abyss starts to stare back at you. I mean, it's not the direct quote, but kind of like getting lost in all this destruction and all this hate and this greed and this people who are living unconsciously can actually begin to infect you. Like it can be infectious if you spend too much time on it. Like if you're tuning into the news in a way where like you start to find yourself becoming hateful and angry, or if you're dealing with direct conflict and you're wanting to like fight. Like I said, like there's times in life where you have to defend yourself, but there's times where you're just plotting because you're angry or you're feeling like you want revenge, and that's not really a healthy place to come from. So try to distinguish those two. I begin my day with love, another loving card, really focusing on love, focusing on high vibration, put on good music, try to do some yoga, try to meditate, try to think peaceful thoughts. I mean, obviously, these messages can't reach everyone who's in war because some people just don't have access to the internet or access to other basic things at this time. But like finding a way to focus your mind and focus your heart into a peaceful state and into a state of love is going to be really important at this time. I can find peace in every breath. So breath work, grounding work, connecting with your body, doing yoga, meditating. I think especially what I found is that meditating in circles, like with others, is really supportive because you start to feel like you have like a community of people who are also being present or working on becoming present as much as they can. Because that can be kind of a struggle when you're around people who are unconscious and you're trying to live a spiritual life. You're trying to be conscious and you're trying to be present and you're trying to be stable and grounded and healthy. If you have a lot of this around you, like 10 of Swords, 5 of Wands, Devil, especially the Devil, you're really dealing with some toxicity. So if you've tuned into this message and this feels relevant to you, may the force be with you. Let's see what's going on here. There's I think this is like more of that kind of energy of affluence, but this actually feels like I'm talking now to the people who are on the good side, where you're learning how to define your boundaries and put up your boundaries, and you're also actually reaping results for the hard work that you've done. and getting your wishes, getting things that you've dreamt of. It's important to maybe keep this hidden from certain people or to not kind of advertise it overly. You are getting recognition, so it might be hard to keep it away from certain people, but it's like the more you step into the light, the more like darkness starts to come around you, but you have to surround yourself with other conscious beings. That's why I was saying like being around meditation circles or maybe going to some kind of retreat where there's others who are also seeking for that, or finding others that you can talk to about what you're going through that can be supportive at this time. It feels like there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of change with this Chariot, but I would like to say the Ten of Cups is right under the Chariot. So it feels like love and abundance and wealth and happiness is just around the corner, but you need to be strong. Some of you, I was thinking here, there's like a third party thing, which I hate. Hate even saying that phrase, but like it could be that there's other people involved in your love life or in your whatever it is you're loyal to. Like maybe this is a position you're going for at work and there's other people coming for it. So this is a time of rest. This is a time where there isn't much progress happening. And it's happening simultaneously with this. So like you are getting your dreams, you are fulfilling things, you are getting recognition, you are setting up your boundaries, but at the same time, you're not getting communication from places where you've been sure, like, oh wow, like this person really likes me, or this job is opening and I'm sure that I'm overqualified for this and I'll definitely get the job. But there's other people involved, and there could be people even sabotaging with the Ten of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Devil. I don't like to put that negative spin on things, but this is just a lot of negativity here. So right, so because it's kind of a time of silence and things not coming back to you, emails not being responded to, phone calls not answered, it's kind of like a time where you're being called to go on this journey on your own with the Hermit, and you're having to leave behind certain people. And it's difficult because you're emotionally attached, maybe to your home country, maybe to your home, maybe to your family, maybe to friends, and there might be certain situations that are no longer healthy or no longer safe. And so you're searching for peace, you're searching for love, you're searching for balance and for safety. I think safety is a big word here. I think war, unfortunately, is also a big word here. Like, I'm just feeling so strongly war and corruption and greed. And I think that a lot of what war is corruption and greed. I think that the media doesn't show it. I think the media portrays it as like a conflict between countries. But if you actually meet people from those countries, you know, you'll find out that a lot of those people don't want war. They just want to go about their lives. And they may see injustices, they definitely do, but it's like injustices exist within those countries as well. And I don't want to get political, but I think like this is a time in the world where like if you're not political, you don't have a heartbeat. Like we're all just going through a lot of shifts, a lot of changes. Countries that seem to be immune to this are not immune to it because everyone's taking sides, everyone's somehow collaborating or cooperating with different sides, and so we're becoming part of this dialogue, whether we like it or not. And there's a lot of corruption behind it. There's a lot of desire for success, for money, for achievement, for ego. And that's what this book was talking about. The Silent Power was talking about how there's people who operate from ego, and their ego doesn't want to die. Their ego is avoiding death at all costs. Their ego just wants to survive everything. Part of surviving is also like wanting money and wanting security and wanting abundance and wanting all these things. And like, there's a difference between not feeling safe and wanting security because you're in actual danger, or not feeling safe because your ego is somehow threatened. And I hope that's clear. But it feels like that's also part of this situation here where there's other people involved. I think that you should be able to find peace in the hermit phase when you go within, when you do that deep soul dive and do your shadow work and realize like some things just aren't meant for me, or some wars I'm not going to win. And that's okay. And I'll respectfully bow my head down and walk away, because this is a situation where maybe there's someone who's already in a relationship and you're interested in them. Maybe there's a job that you want, but someone else was chosen. Maybe there's a position you want at work, but someone else was given this position, and you're just kind of, you can fight, you can get angry, you can wage war, or you can just respectfully accept the situation and walk away from it. And focus on love, focus on peace. Realize that peace is such a breath of fresh air. Like when you realize you've got peace in your life, like don't take that for granted, because there are people who don't have peace, and they would do anything for this peace. And so set up those boundaries, focus on the things you can do for yourself to achieve your goals, stay on your own lane, stay motivated, and focus on love, and raise your vibrations that way. I'm hearing that song, Higher Love. Yeah. It's a lot. It's frustrating for people who cannot help or who don't really know where to even start helping. I think part of it's just kind of becoming aware of our own patterns. Like I said before, once you become aware of those patterns, you can start to dissolve them and focus on new changes in your life, new beginnings. And let everything go with love. If you're releasing people, if you're releasing experiences, release them with love. Don't release them with hate or anger. Realize they're on their own journey. Set up your boundaries, be firm, be strong. Don't fall prey to this kind of victimhood. Know that you have amazing things coming in your life once you are focused on your own journey. Realize that some people cannot come with you. I think that's the best way to put it. Thanks for watching.